Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm gonna...
Zeg Films.
Subscribe. Hello and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about my Blu-ray collection. I'm a big fan of Blu-rays. I love collecting Blu-rays. Every time I go out to some store, I look and see what kind of Blu-rays they have, and I'd say 7 out of 10 times I end up buying at least one. So I figured today, given that it's almost the end of the year, I want to take a look at my Blu-ray collection as of 2021 and maybe make this an annual thing. Every year I'll look at my Blu-ray collection and show it to you all. I don't know, we'll find out. But for now, I'm going to go through what I do have in alphabetical order, starting with the complete Batman anthology from 1989 to 1997. This is one of the first couple Blu-rays that I've ever bought, and I really love this box. I mean, just like, look at that. It's not going to focus on it, but like, you can see the way it looks is really, really nice. It's a nice looking thing. And in it is both of the Tim Burton Batman films and both of the Joel Schumacher Batman films, which are to this day some of the best superhero movies ever made, excluding this one, the Dark Knight trilogy. I've said it before and I'll say it again, Christopher Nolan is my favorite filmmaker, and his rendition of Batman is some of the best superhero films I've ever seen and some of my personal favorite. So in this collection comes the actual movies on Blu-ray and DVD, I think? Let me check. No, it's just the movies on Blu-ray and the special features. And then in here, we also have a message from Christopher Nolan, which I'm not going to read on camera because that would take way too long. And these cool character posters for each of the villains in the movies. That's obviously the Scarecrow one. These look so cool. At some point I'll probably put them up on the wall somewhere, but I just can't find anywhere to do that right now. Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy. I recently rewatched this film, and it is absolutely hilarious. I actually have on this Blu-ray both the original theatrical release and the unrated version, which I have yet to see. This is a movie that I just have a lot of nostalgia with. I used to watch it with my friends all the time, and I freaking love it. It's hilarious. It has some of the funniest jokes I've ever heard in movies. It's one of the best comedies ever made, really. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. I don't remember when I got this, but I do remember that I like it a lot, especially because this is the extended cut, which has a lot of scenes in there that kind of make the story fleshed out a little bit more, make it feel much more well-paced. Obviously, one of the biggest issues with the theatrical cut of this film is its pacing, but this particular version is really good, and I would highly recommend that you check this out and buy it if you want to. Die Hard 2, Die Harder. Die Hard is one of the best movies ever made. It's not a Christmas movie, and neither is this, but it is a really great action film, and Die Hard 2 is not as good, obviously, as the first, but it is still really funny and something that I really enjoy. Dunkirk. This is an incredible film, especially because I watched it in my basement where we have this nice theater-like setup. It's really, really incredible to see it, and if you ever are going to see Dunkirk, I highly recommend that you see it on the biggest screen possible with the loudest speakers possible. It's just necessary to properly experience this film. Nicolas Cage's Face Off and Snake Eyes. I've never seen Snake Eyes, but Face Off is a really funny movie. I love Nicolas Cage, and that is probably one of his best films in my opinion. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I'm probably going to do a retrospective review on this soon because I have so much I want to talk about in this film, but what I will say is that I love Westerns. I love the Western genre, and it's primarily because of my late grandfather who would always watch Westerns on the TV, and when he passed, I finally saw this film for the first time, and I don't know, I just feel a connection with him whenever I watch any kind of Western, especially one like this, Inception. There's not much more I can say about this film that I haven't already said. It's incredible. Every time I watch it, I find something new about it that I love, and there's just nothing about it I can really think of that I strongly dislike at all. Insomnia. This is one of those Nolan films that a lot of people don't even remember, a lot of people don't really think about or even associate with Nolan, but this is one of his better films. I don't know that it's one of his best, but it's certainly one of his better. I highly enjoyed it when I saw it. It's just one of those things that really messes with your head. It's such a great showcase of early Nolan work. Interstellar. This is by far one of his best films. This film is such a great one. I've only ever seen it like twice, I think. Both of those viewings were kind of bad. It's still one of the best films he's ever made, and I Really cannot wait to finally see this on a proper screen with the proper setup. This came with a lot of the Blu-rays of this film, but mine has a film cell from an actual IMAX screening of the film. That's what's in here. Mad Max, the original Mad Max. This is a really, really weird film. It's strange, but it's still one of the best I've ever seen, even if the ending is a bit anticlimactic. It's all wrapped up, but here it is. That's pretty sweet. It's got his dog, him in it. It's just really cool to me. Men in Black. One of the most well-known films, I would say. Really funny movie. Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith are just an incredible combination in this movie. There's not much else I can say about it. It's a buddy cop movie about aliens. Like, that's cool. The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. One of the best films ever made. One of the best films ever made. I don't really think what else I could say about it. It's such a weird, but heartfelt, deep, emotional, incredible film. This is the kind of film that movies were made for. This is the kind of thing that you really can feel the art and the passion behind every single person working on it. It's one of those movies that once you see it, even if you never watch it ever again in your life, it will always stick with you for the rest of your life. Monster House. This film has so much nostalgia for me. I mean, growing up in the early 2000s, watching this movie every Halloween, every year, sometimes a lot more than I normally would, it's just really, really good. Me and my brother would watch it all the time. We loved this show growing up. I could never get enough of this as a kid. And though I haven't opened this Blu-ray of it, I probably will very soon and rewatch it as soon as possible because damn, this is good. This is really good. My Hero Academia to Heroes Rising, not Two Heroes. I've done a review of this film on the channel before. It's a really, really great movie. It's one of the best anime movies I've ever seen, aside from Akira, which I have a poster for. It's really great. If you're a fan of the show, highly recommend this movie. I like doing this with Blu-rays that have this, so I take off the book sleeve and now I have this on the inside instead of what you would normally have, because this is supposed to be the inside of the case, but sometimes I flip them around just because it looks really cool on the outside. Like, come on, that looks sick. And, you know, I always like to keep the original cover on it, so if I have the book sleeve for it, then I will keep that on it while I have the cooler design on the underside. Over the Hedge. Over the Hedge. This is just a really weird movie from my childhood. I love it. And it introduced so many people to one of the greatest songs ever written, albeit a censored version.
I'm rocking the suburbs, just like Michael Jackson did. I'm rocking the suburbs, except that he was talented. I'm rocking the suburbs, I take the checks and face the facts. The song producer with computers, this is all my shitty tracks.
Paranorman. I think I've only seen it once. I bought it that one time when I was a kid to see it for $25 at Kmart. Okay. But, you know, it's a really good movie, I think. I don't really remember, but it's about the region that I live in. It's about witches, and it's creepy. It's a really, really good film to see on Halloween. The Polar Express. I love this movie. That's it. That's all I can say. I absolutely love this movie. Everything about it. It's fantastic. I'm so glad to finally have this Blu-ray of it. I bought last year, just a little while after I recorded the Polar Express video. But I also have the original cover on the inside, but then the newer version on the outside. And I think that's a really cool design choice. Really, really great movie. The Polar Express is it's just incredible. Shazam. One of the most underrated not underrated, not at all actually. One of the best DCU movies that wasn't directed by Zack Snyder. This is such a good family film, heartwarming story about family, friendship, goodness. It's just really good, really heartwarming, and as you can see, it has one of those cool covers that switches when you look at it. It also has a different inside case from the outside, which I really like this look. This sort of simplistic design. I like that one. Shin Godzilla. I mean, again, I love this film. I've said so much about it in my review. You can go watch that if you want to know more about it, but this is a really, really great film. The best Godzilla film since 1954, and probably one of the better monster movies I've ever seen. Next up, I have a movie that is very important to me and very important to this channel. The first movie I've ever reviewed on this channel, the first film review ever on this channel, the first real, technically speaking, video on this channel. Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't feel like I need to say anything else, just Michael Bay's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's all that needs to be said. That's all that needs to be said. That's all that needs to be said. Tenet. I bought this Blu-ray as soon as it came out. This was the first Nolan film I ever saw in theaters. I haven't seen it since, but my God, did I love it. It's probably one of his weaker films, but it's Christopher Nolan. Weaker does not mean bad at all. This is still a really great movie and still a really fantastic film to own, to see, especially in the cinemas, which obviously you can't do anymore because it's not in the cinemas anymore. But if you ever see this film, I seriously recommend watching it on the biggest screen possible with the loudest speakers, just like pretty much any other Nolan film aside from some of his more earlier works where it's not as important. This is a really, really great film. It's also one of the highest quality Blu-rays I have. Like, the case is really sturdy. The video quality on the actual disc is really great. I love the soundtrack. I love the character. Well, the characters don't really have much of anything to them, but I think they're witty and have a lot of chemistry that is interesting to see. This film was ultimately an experiment, and I think that it was a really interesting experiment to be done. I love Nolan films. Tenet is really good. That's it. That's my Blu-ray collection as of 2021. Blu-rays are a really great thing to own. I love Blu-rays. Thank you all for watching this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, maybe even subscribe. Thank you all again for watching, and have a nice day. And that is my entire Blu-ray collection as of 2021. I hope to expand it greatly in the future, possibly double it by next year. Maybe. It's possible. It can be done. I already have a lot of Blu-rays that I want to get, including South Park movie, which is really funny. I love that movie. I love South Park. Talladega Nights. A lot of these are comedies, actually. But Sing Street and the original Gojira, Memento. I want to finish the Nolan collection. I almost have all of his films. I just need a couple more.